and welcome back to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. Today we're talking about the Relay for Life, which happens this Friday. I'm here with Kathy Rivera-Castro and Sean Murphy. So for those in the community who haven't heard, what is the Relay for Life?
Relay for Life is the American Cancer Society's signature event. It's the time when we all gather at George Washington and we relay for our survivors. We relay for all those that have been taken by this dreadful disease. We show them in solidarity and support that we stand by them, and we continue to stand by them.
Okay, and most people in Guam have heard about this because it's been going on for so many years. But I understand that this year is a little bit different from years before. Can you tell us what's different this year?
In the past, Relay for Life has always been a 12-hour event. But this year we have cut it down to 6 hours, so it begins at 6 p.m. in the evening and ends at 12:01, 1 minute after midnight into the new day. And the purpose of us cutting down the time frame is due to the fact that Relay is all about our cancer survivors and their caregivers. Many of them have their medical challenges, and we wanted to be sensitive to their cause. We wanted them to be present for most of the activities, and this will give them the opportunity to be as present throughout the evening as long as possible. So taking into consideration their medical needs, and some of them just coming out of active treatment or still in active treatment, we wanted to be sensitive to that cause.
Okay, but even though it might be shorter, it's still jam-packed, full of events, full of fun activities for the entire family. So we're going to kind of give everyone a rundown of what to expect this Friday. So of course, first of all, the event kicks off with opening ceremonies at 6 p.m. So you can tell us what do the opening ceremonies consist of?
Well, it actually begins with, we have a dinner in honor of our survivors. So they come and they have dinner with us that evening. And after the dinner, for the survivors and their primary caregiver, we go into the opening ceremonies. And I'll defer to Sean, who handles that.
Okay, well, on-site activities is I've been on the committee for about 3 years, and so this year, because it is jam-packed, we are actually starting, like Kathy said, we're starting with the survivor dinner, but we're also starting at 5:30 with Team Zinahanya, which is a Zumba team that will come up to the front of the stage and get people excited, get people pumped up to start relaying at 6 o'clock. So at 6 o'clock, we start the event with our survivor lap. And then we also bring in the teams after that. So, Kathy, what were you saying? Next will be the teams at that point.
Yeah.
So,
what we have we call the victory lap, which is where our survivors and our caregivers make the first initial lap around the track, and this is their time. And we ask everyone, to come out of their tents and actually just cheer them on. And we have survivors that have just been newly diagnosed up until over 25 years of survivorship. So. This is their moment to shine, and this is their moment to know that we rally with them. So that actually happens after the opening ceremonies, about 7:15, and then after they've made their full lap around the track, we begin with the parade of teams.
I just want to touch on the victory lap because that's one of my favorite parts of the entire event. I've only been to Relay for Life a few times, but that's the part where you really see everyone going around, and when it opened your eyes that cancer is something that touches so many people in the community, and you might be surprised because you might see some people who you didn't realize were there who are cancer survivors. And you actually have a few cancer survivors here at KOAM, so make sure to look out for that.
And that is a comment that a lot of people make, is that once the survivor lab, the survivors and their caregivers start to make that trek around the track, people is like, wow, I didn't know so and so, and it hits home for them. So it is a very, very special moment, for everyone present. And then we move on to the parade of teams. All the teams make their lap around the track. So from there, we go into the luminary ceremony, which I think everyone is quite familiar. And for those that aren't, the luminarias are these bags that are dedicated to someone that has been diagnosed with cancer or someone that has passed on in memory of a loved one. And these bags are literally lit, and we have thousands and thousands of bags that are set up on the center tent, and the lights are dimmed, and all you see is just the luminaria bags and lit. And we have a special ceremony just for them, and that takes place at 9 o'clock, followed by the fight back ceremony, where we try to motivate everyone to continue this fight so that we can create a world without cancer and hopefully celebrate more birthdays.
Okay, so the luminary ceremony is something that my mom is really into. She does this every year because my grandmother actually passed away from breast cancer. So are people still able to purchase luminary bags?
Yes, yes. You can come down to the American Cancer Society office. We're located at the Bank of Guam Santa Cruz branch. And you can still purchase your luminaries, and we do have
Wednesday, I believe.
yeah, until Wednesday, and we still have luminary painting parties if you choose for us to decorate them. Thereafter, for a limited amount of what's left over, you can still purchase them that night at Relay for Life. In the office, they're sold for $12, and on that evening, it's $20. But there'll be some available for purchase that night at Relay for Life.
Okay, so can you tell us more about the Fight Back event? What does that consist of?
The Fight Back event is basically the time when we speak to our community and how we can continue to carry on this fight to eradicate cancer in our community, whether it be through legislation, whether it be through education. So it's where we try to remind everyone to continue, the fight against cancer.
All right, well, thanks so much. Stay tuned because we have a lot more on Relay for Life coming up after the break.